Okay, back. It's still cold, so this chat might not be that long, but it is good to be with you. Um, I want to think about something today, and to think about it, I was needed some pictures, so I pulled out an old scrapbook, and the scrapbook I happened to pull out, I'm not going to hold it up because I might drop it, but it's what somebody put together for us when we were in our youth ministry way back in the 1990s and the early 2000s. And I know that you have a bunch of pictures at your house covering all aspects of your life. But I wanted to just show you a couple of these, I don't know, for entertainment purposes, maybe, and to make a point. First one is here's a picture. How about that? That's Marilyn. Now, these are some friends of ours. You know who that is? Can you see? Now, those are just pictures, but let me tell you what happened. We were at a retreat, and we played this game, which maybe we'll do sometime, where everybody had a stocking, and in the stocking was a sock with flour in it, and it was heavy. And everybody had to put the stocking on their head. Stupidest game in the world. We're going to love it. Put the stocking on their head and swing it around and try to hit other people with the flour in the. Anyway, that was it. And then there's Marilyn participating in that too. That's one, so that's just a snapshot. But behind the snapshot, it's a big deal. Here's another one. I'm not going to show you, but three. That is a wedding picture. And that's a picture of me. You can guess who I am. This picture is my friend, Mark, who went on to become the pastor of the church. This is Dr. Wilson Benton, whom I used in an illustration, the one that, in my sermon, the one that got the doctor without having to defend it. A wonderful, wonderful man. And this couple is John and Walker Herbaugh. Now, there's a picture. I can't tell you all the story behind it. They were in our youth group. They go down to Naples, Florida to have this wedding because some of their friends would spend the winters down there. So they had the wedding, and then they had the reception at the Palm Beach Club. No, the Naples Beach Club, right next door to Chuck Colson's house. Now, I might have told you that at that reception, they had lobster, all you could eat, prime rib, steak, lamb chops, caviar, vegetables. Who cares about them when we got all that other stuff? Anyway, delightful meal. In fact, at one point, they went out while the sun was setting to take a picture with the bride and groom, which meant there's nobody in the buffet line. So I stayed inside. See, you get all that just from this picture. Well, I'll show you one other picture just to show you that sometimes things never really change, do they? Anyway, here's the idea. I mean, you have scrapbooks, you have pictures on your mantle, you have things, and each one of them to the person observing is a picture. But really, to the person who knows about it, it's movement. It's the memories. It's the sequence of events. It's all the things that go into that picture. It's kind of like this. Maybe you've been to a movie theater and the film is broken. And so when you watch the movie, there's motion. People are going from one place to the next. There's dialogue. There's talking. Time elapses. But if you've ever seen one of those movie reels break, and it's just individual snapshots. So these are snapshots, but they tell a story. And there's someone behind the story. So here's the point that I want to make. Sometimes with the things that we're going through and the struggles that we have and the waiting on the doctor's report or seeing what the news has today, or can you believe we've been in a COVID situation for an entire year, or whatever it is we're going through, we can look at that and see it like a snapshot. And we forget that it's part of a bigger picture. And the director and the executive producer and the creator and the writer and the screenwriter and the key grip and the best boy, all the credits that roll on that screen. The producer and the director are God. And a producer and a director doesn't just see the little snapshot. He has in mind the whole picture. God is creating a picture for his glory. And whatever you go through, remember, it's a snapshot. It's not the whole thing. And for believers, the picture is going to have a good ending. What I'm talking about is God is sovereign, and he acts through creation, and he acts by orchestrating all the affairs for his glory, all the things that are going on. It's called providence. God is active in all our affairs. That means everything that troubles us is just a picture. And that might be all we see. But God has the whole movie in mind. History is his story. We're a part, as believers especially, of his story. And what that story leads us to is his glory. We're going to find out about what God is really like, some here on earth, but eventually in full measure. And we're going to be so glad because we are a part of his glory. Scripture says, be still when you're looking at that picture frame and you don't like what it looks like. He says, be still and know that I am God. Okay? It says that I will be exalted among all the nations, that I will be exalted in all of the earth. We are part of God's picture. What we're going through now is part of God's picture. In his goodness and his love and his mercy, he is directing that picture. We're going to be talking a little more about that, about his goodness and his love and his mercy in our sermon this Sunday in Galatians. So hope to see you there. Had a good time last week. Missed a lot of you. If you can't make it, then I'm sure you can catch it in late afternoons, usually when the sermon and the scripture reading are up. So anyway, thank you for listening in. Thank you for letting me indulge in this little moment of down memory lane. And just remember, we see the snapshot, but we trust the one who loves us, who sees and orchestrates the big picture. Okay? Thanks.